How vulnerable are you? You see, for the past 30 days, I've been challenging myself to be as vulnerable as possible over on TikTok. And today is actually the final day of that challenge, day 30 out of 30. Now look, 30 days of TikTok vulnerability projects is not going to change my entire life. I set out to just record things that I was actually up to because I was hiding things. I wasn't posting everything about my life, and I wanted to break through that wall that I was having of, oh, don't post that because this person's going to think you're really weird, or that person's not going to want to talk to you anymore because, you know what, you're not who they thought you were or how you projected yourself to them when you first met them. And that was a huge problem for me. I definitely, when I'm moving to New York City, changed a little bit who I was so then I could impress certain people, so then I could get in rooms with people that I admired, so then I could then connect with those people and maybe work for them or just get to know them a little more. It's a slippery slope, man. When you get to New York City and you understand who's actually here and what opportunities could lie ahead, it's hard not to try to impress people just to impress them, so then an opportunity might arise. And that's definitely the trap that I got into for quite a while. I'm not there anymore, and it's because of my 30-day vulnerability project. I got a lot out of it, and I definitely recommend other people to try this. Post 30 days of your life. No filter, just record little moments here and there throughout the day within the TikTok app so you don't have to do any editing, and just hit upload at the end of the day. I didn't have to think about it. I was just putting things out there, and it turned out, like, rewatching these myself, they weren't that bad, and it was just a documentation of my life, something that I actually wanted to put out there. That's what was so special about the project. I'm not thinking about who I want to impress. I'm thinking about what I want to shoot and what I want to say and who I want to be. I do have an idea for how to illustrate this vulnerability thing, and it involves one of my favorite superheroes. Let's go to the store. What the heck? A big post-it pad. Okay. I've always wanted one of these. I just found one, so we're gonna use it in today's video. Seatown. There we go.
Thank you.
Now I promise I do have good reason for buying Spider-Man gummies. Okay, so I'm gonna clear out the living room so then I can use it to clarify. Imagine this as your personality. I think that a lot of people want to be perceived as clean, perfect, untouched, and for the most part, just normal. Think of this as comfort. You could think of this as a lot of different things, but this is what I'm talking about. A lot of people don't want to show their imperfections, especially on social media, and this is my main point. The thing is, this is pretty boring, but start to mark it up. It starts to get interesting. All your little imperfections start to become something of interest. There's a really great researcher and storyteller that helped inspire this video, Brene Brown. She had a great point where she didn't understand how vulnerability is not only a sign of weakness, showing your weaknesses, but also a place where you can find comfort, love, strength, and acceptance with yourself, where you can start to feel like you're worthy of more things than you thought that you were. Not everybody's gonna love staring at a blank page, but they might enjoy staring at something that shows who you are. Now this is gonna be the fun part. I'm excited for this. Who you are starts to stand out so much more. Every time you show one of these vulnerabilities, you start to become even more yourself. And I think that you'll be surprised at just how special it can really be. Once you start to see what can happen when you start to let your actual self show, your weaknesses, your thoughts. I mean, this is the suckiest thunderbolt that I've ever done, but in the grand concept of who I am and what this piece behind me represents, that doesn't matter. The reason why I grabbed Spider-Man gummies is because in this process, putting your vulnerabilities out there, you start to open up. And just like Spider-Man, he's vulnerable. Peter Parker is vulnerable, and that's why we love him. But when you peel away all that cover, all the protection that you're putting up against who you really are, we get to see those little jewels that make up who you really are. And you know what? They're not so bad. They're actually really good gummies. I like what I made here. I like who I am. I'm not gonna stop showing my actual self. I encourage you to be vulnerable, to put yourself out there in ways that might seem scary, but are actually going to connect you with the people and the things that you really want to do and help you find yourself. Sometimes this is scary. You never know what this is going to turn out to look like or how people are going to react to it. But by putting it out there, you open yourself up to so many new opportunities. It could turn out to look pretty cool. I think this one or this one is my favorite.